Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm glad you could join us this afternoon. If you've ever felt that your life is worthless or empty or doesn't have a meaning, then this message is for you this afternoon. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That's how the Bible starts in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1. And it says that God's Spirit hovered over the earth and that the earth was dark and empty. And then on the first day, God spoke. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And then on the second day, God created the sky. On the third day, God created the dry land, and he made all the plants. On the fourth day, God made the fish, and the sea, and the birds in the air. On the sixth day, God made all the animals on the land, and he made men and women. And it says in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26, "Then God said, Let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, and over every living creature that moves on the ground." That was the sixth day. And then on the seventh day, God rested from all his work. And it says that God looked at all his creation and that God saw that it was good. But of all the things that God made, there's only one thing that he said was made in his image. And that's you and me, human beings, men and women. It says that God created us in his image. God made us different. And God gave us the authority over the earth, over all the other animals, to look after them and to care for them and to care for the earth that he made. And God has made us different from the animals. He's made us accountable for our actions. He's made us conscious of the world in a way that none of the other animals are. He's given us a sense of more, that there's something more. It's only humans that try to worship something. They try to worship somebody or something greater than them. And he has given us a sense that there is an eternity, that this world is not it, that there is so much more. And only humans have been invited to have a relationship and a friendship with our Creator God. And so if ever you feel worthless or ever you feel like your life doesn't have a purpose, remember this, that you're made in God's image. Over in Psalm 139 and verse 13 it says this, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, O God! How vast is the sum of them! Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I am still with you." In Psalm 139, the psalmist was in a dark place, and he was aware of the darkness in the world around him. And then he remembered that God had made him, that even from his mother's womb, God had created him and formed him. He remembered that God had planned out his days and that God had a plan for his life. He remembered that God thinks about him and that God's thoughts about him are precious. And so if ever you feel down, if ever you wonder what the purpose of your life is, if ever you feel like your life doesn't have worth, then remember that God made you, that God thinks about you, that God has planned your days, and that you're made just the way that God wanted you. God doesn't make mistakes. You're not a mistake. God has made you just the way that you are, according to his purpose. There's a lot of chat sometimes about illegitimate children. Well, there's no such thing as illegitimate children. All of us are made according to God's purpose. We are not a mistake. God has brought you here just the way that he wants you. And God has a plan for your life. God has a purpose for your life. God has a meaning for your life, and God thinks about you all the time. And that's why Christians believe that abortion and euthanasia are wrong in pretty much every circumstance. Because we believe that God created life, and only God has the ability and the power and the authority to take it away. Life is not a mistake. No child is a mistake. All are created according to His purpose and according to His will. And we need to care for every life that God has put on this earth. And so if ever you feel like your life lacks meaning or lacks purpose, remember this: God made you. God has a plan for you. God thinks about you. You're made just the way that God wants you to be.